So what I wanted to do today for everybody was get into the website stuff. Okay. And with a lot of questions I get from developers, the people that want to develop their website and not quite sure where to find the website, where to find an edit button, where to find, just what does it say? Because when we go through and we're learning about Aptive, is that we're essentially uh, shown contacts, CRM, maybe projects or something like that. But we skip over website, and some of it's integrated with the rest of the setup for the rest of our Aptive tools, because we say it's all integrated and interoperable. Okay, which means you're putting in one piece of information and it's available to everybody, every other app within the group. Okay, so what I want to be able to do here is, as I said, to answer Carolee's question, you can do one of two things. Is that we know in order to log into Aptive, we have to go to aptive.rail.com web login. Okay, and use your login for that. And where this takes us is into the back end. This is our Ambassador back end. Okay, our back office. And we have a button here called Access Aptive. Now, for anybody who's got a MacBook Pro, you may have to scroll up because the page may be longer than what you're currently using. Okay, so you can go through here and choose Access Aptive, and it takes you back to your actual URL, because it's connected to your original sign-in, that it captures the URL that you defined in your Aptive setup. Okay, so mine on this particular is that this is one of my test accounts, was Sparks Rail test.rail.app. Okay, that's what I signed in with. That's what I set the password for. So I need to sign into here. And now I get a listing of all of the Aptive tools that are here. Okay, and this is one version of the screen that I'm talking about. There is another one that actually comes back that looks something like this, but over in this corner, on the upper left-hand corner, has the word website. And then below that is the rest of the tools. So there's actually two versions that you may come upon depending on how you get into the back end. Okay, so with this particular one, to get in here, we simply go down to website, and you'll see right away here it says dashboard. Okay, so under dashboard, we're actually going to go into analytics, which is on the dashboard, which shows you, sales from the week before, all your visitors, and everything else. Okay, but this little button here, go to website, takes you to the actual website. And this is the actual website builder. Okay, and as I said, here is a link to all the other applications. Okay, we're going to dive into one of these, because for one of the pages here, the Contact Us page specifically, is you have your name and your address and a Google Map feature in there. But instead of editing it on the Contact Us page, you actually go into the setup of your Aptive program, your Aptive tools, and put in your company name, your address, your phone number, your email address, your tax ID, and a few other bits of information. And what that does is that populates the Contact Us page on here automatically. And we're going to go through that in a little bit. Okay. So is everybody seeing this setup?
I'm there right now.
When I go there, it just goes to the web page that you built.
Okay, but in the top left-hand corner, do you have the word website?
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you that have already built your website, this is your website. This is your Aptive website builder. You only have one copy. So if that's what that has been built on this platform, then that's what you're going to see. Okay, because at the top, Steve, on yours, you'd have, I think you've got home and then about us. Did we do that, or about me? Okay, so you can change the pages.
Home and contact us.
Right. So on that particular one, I've already messed around with what Steve has asked for. Okay, so his is already created. So on Carolee, on yours, you see kind of what I have here, except for the term. This is our blank canvas to build a website.
Yeah.
Okay,
it says welcome to homepage. Yeah.
Right.
It just says welcome to homepage. Yeah.
Right.
Click on edit on the top right corner to start designing.
Yeah, that's one element that you can start with. Okay. So what you have is, if you don't see the whole Rail stuff, and I haven't done any work on it, or you haven't played with it, then what you're going to get is just a default page. Okay. And we're going to go through some of that today. This is kind of why I've got this page up here on screen, is that this is your default configuration that you can now start building out your own web page. Okay. But there's certain things that I want to go through and just point out to you to get you more familiar with that. Okay. We're okay with that? Mm-hmm. So as Carolee said, up in the top right hand corner, you have the word edit, you have new, you have what looks like a smartphone, and then you have the word published. Okay. On the left side, you have the website pull-down menu to access all of the other apps. Okay, we don't need to do that right now. Move your mouse over to pages, and you should have edit menu, manage pages, and page properties. Okay. The next one over for customization or customize, you got HTML, CSS, and JS editor, and that's for hypertext markup language, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript editor. That is the coding level. That's not the what you see is what you get level. Okay. I've said it before, is that what you see on the screen is the what you see is what you get. If you go into the HTML, you go into and look at the back of it, this is what's in my head. You don't want to go there.
No, I don't want to go back. I don't even want to click on it.
I started programming over 25 years ago, longhand, doing this stuff with literally a piece of notepad and a pencil. So that's kind of what's in my head. The next one is promote, and promote is where we get to optimize the SEO on this, and that's putting in keywords, that's putting in right descriptions, and so on, so that your web page is front facing. Like these pages are actually front facing to Google. Okay, this is the only element of our software that is front facing. Okay, that Google is able to actually look at and search and store. Okay, none of the other apps, because of the data behind it, are allowed to be crawled by Google or any other search engine. Okay, so carrying on a little bit more here, we've got your website, and what this is a logo file. So on the ones I've created for our other Rail ambassadors, this is actually replaced by the Rail logo. Okay, that's easy enough to do, but you do it all within the edit side. Okay, not the customize or the page change. So what we have here is your frontline menu. So we have home, we have a shopping page connection, we have a contact us page connection. About us, it's blank because it's unpublished. So I wanted to show you the difference between a published and an unpublished page. So it's not, if there's nothing there, nobody can see it when they come to your website. Okay, so you can do all your design work here without them seeing it. Yeah. Okay. In some other terms for website builders, it's maintenance mode. Okay, they can put that page into a maintenance mode so that's not shown to the outside customer. Okay. The other thing is that
I don't have About Us. When
I actually put that in there to show you that you're actually
okay.
able to add pages. I'll get to that here in a minute. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So also along the top row, of course, this is your login. So you can log out of here at any time. And the Contact Us page, the Contact Us button, actually refers back to the actual contact page itself. Okay, so this is a hyperlink to your actual page. To go back to the home, you can pick home, but at the same time, you can also use your website. That will the domain will always take you back to your front page. Okay. Going down to the bottom, going from left to right, are useful links or quick links. So if somebody's halfway down the page and they don't want to scroll all the way up to the top, they can see where the footer is. And you see a number of links that are in here, like Contact Us. It's already hyperlinked to the Contact Us page. Services doesn't do anything because we don't have a services page created. So this is a static link. The same thing with legal. We don't have one of those. Neither products. The About Us is not connected, but the home is. So these are additional links that you're given as a template file that you want to put About Us in there. You can create your About Us page and have it linked to these quick links. Okay. If you don't want these, once you're in the edit mode, you can actually delete all of these and keep the ones that you want, or add more that you want for additional pages that you've got within your site. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
How many pages do you have?
you can have as many
use?
pages as you want.
Okay.
I mean, I've built websites with 3 subdomains and 100 pages.
Oh yeah, I built 54-page websites, but I mean within this, I didn't know there was no limit.
This is, you can add as many pages as you want, and as long as you got the content that's there. Like this thing, if you've got a product-based platform, you can put in page after page after your products and do the e-commerce and everything else. That's what it's built for. Right now, you just have a small number of template files that you can build out. Okay. And what I want to be able to do over the next 1 or 2 weeks is just give you a good sense of how to get in, how to do some basic editing, and then probably on the following Monday, we'll start building some web pages. So we'll actually bring in some of the actual building blocks, show you their functionality, show you what they look like, and then what it looks like actually in the code, so that you can see that it's more complex than it is just dragging and dropping and doing small edits. Okay, so that's kind of the plan over the next couple meetings. Okay, so let's carry on. So on the far right hand side, you've got Connect with Us. So again, Contact Us, that takes you to the contact page. It's hyperlinked. Okay. Same thing here with your email. Is you look down at the bottom left hand corner, it actually shows mail info or mail info at yourcompany.example.com. You can actually put your email address in there, but we don't have an email software program that is linked to this. It will fire up Microsoft Mail. If you click on that, on the mail to command, it will fire up Hotmail, okay, as the default email protocol. So in a lot of cases, people will just right click this, copy it up into Google, or into Gmail or Yahoo Mail or whatever, but it's there, it's static. Okay. And then of course the last part is your phone number. You've got icons here for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Those all have, when in the edit mode, you click on them, you put your actual link to Facebook, to Twitter, and to LinkedIn, and people will be taken there. A setting on there is open new window. So you'll still be on your Rail website, and they'll go to LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. Okay, they won't close or they won't replace your actual website. Okay, and then of course the last one is, let's just go somewhere here, contact us. And the last one is home. That takes you back to the home page. Okay, so those are basically the areas on the front page that pretty much everything is editable to how you want it to look. Okay, some of it's a simple text replacement, some of it is a graphics replacement, some of it is a link replacement, and of course it'll tell you if the link is wrong because it'll send you to the wrong spot. Okay, or it'll just give you a simple 404 error or a 502, and there's a couple other ones as well. Okay, so that's kind of where I wanted to start with this. Okay, you guys got any questions to start with?
No, it's good.
No, that's good.
Neil, you're quiet.
Always quiet.
Cool. Okay. So what I want you to do to start with is, this is going to be the front page. And what I want to be able to do is, let's add a new page. So Carolee, go up to where it says published. The smartphone is there, and new.
Right?
Okay. So press new and you get a prompt. It's either a page or a product. So yours is going to be a page. Okay. So in doing so, here, let's just say about me or about you, because I'll have something different. Now, you can have it automatically added to the menu or not. Okay. But if we do, let's choose not. We'll go continue.
So what is a page?
A page is like in a web page, you'll go from the home page to a services page to a contact us page. It's another page within the book. Like, think of a website as a notebook. You always go to the front page, and then you can always go to the next page that's connected, and so on and so forth. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So here you see that it didn't add it to the menu. Okay, but we're going to save it anyways, because you see up here in the address bar, it's now an About You page.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we've added another page to this. I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to go back to Pages and Manage Pages. And in here, you can see, oh, here's the new page, About You. So right now, it's not visible, it's searchable, and you can't find it yet. So we're going to end up changing this, because this page is also not visible. Okay. So where we're going to go here is add menu item. Menu label is About You. And the URL is simply /, and you'll see the list of available pages in your website are here. So we're going to pick About You. Save it again. And now you see it's at the tail end. Now let's say we want to have this up beside home. Go back into Pages, go back into Edit Menu, and here you see we can actually move the pages in and around, within the menu. So now if we choose Save, now we have Home and About You. Okay, so let's go through that one more time. So
Mhm.
we're going to make a new page. You're going to give it a title. I'm going to say test page 1. Put a lowercase e in there. And this time we're going to add it to the menu automatically by default. Okay, so when you create a website, this particular one is just set up so that you have home, contact us, maybe about us, shopping. Let's say you already have a website design that has 5 pages that already has home, about us, frequently asked questions, services, gallery, and things like that. You can simply go through here and add those titles and have them automatically added to the menu. So you do a really quick build of your menu. Okay, Neil, what would your choices be on if you're going to do a website like this? You'd have home, contact. What else? Services.
Something to do with travel.
Okay.
I'd have to be looking at a web page to even tell you, Stephen.
Okay. So these are the things that if you were to sit down with a piece of paper or a notepad and you write down what are your top 5 pages that you would create, you could go in here and do those 5-page titles right away. So this one we're going to add straight away into the menu. So it shows up at the tail end. Well, you can see this is now in editing mode of that table, of that page, because the editor came up, the page builder came up. But if I don't want to do that right now, just press save. Okay, and it takes me back to the home page. I want to move that again. So let's go back to edit menu, because that's what we're going to do here. Edit menu, and I want to move test page up in front of shop. Okay, so I'm going to save it, and it should move it, and it does. So that's some of the easy editing that you can do to get your pages in order, to define the pages that you want to include in your website. And when you create a page, you put the title in, it comes up ready to edit. Okay, so that you can get right going on it. You don't have to save it and go open it again and do your editing. This is very, very quick. Okay, so you can, if you have a layout for your home page, for home, for contact us, about me, and then a couple other pages, it takes about 5 minutes to put all of those titles up there, and you've created 5 pages in the back end. Now, let's go in and edit one of those pages. And you'll see right away that home, you can see what's on it because it's published. All these other pages about you, it's unpublished, so nobody can see what you've actually done. Okay.
So how do you unpublish? On mine I click publish. So how do I unpublish it?
It's just a simple switch. So it's either you've published your page, click, unpublished your page.
I don't see that. I can press that button that says unpublished. So as
Right.
long as I have like about you clicked and highlighted, I can publish that one page on or off.
Right. And then you can go to
Okay.
the next page. Like I've got test page number 1. It shows it unpublished. I can press the green button to
Okay.
make it green. And
So
it's
individually.
published. Yep, you do it
Okay.
individually because you're working on them individually. It's not like you're going to go across everything and completely unpublish everything. You just do it one page at a time. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's go back to, actually, let's do a quick edit on a test page here. So here, this is a blank page, blank canvas. So if we go into the edit button up comes the block editor that comes with the website module. Okay. This is based on another program called Elementor. And there's Elementor Basic and there's Elementor Pro. Neither of those are associated with this. So if you have experience in both of those, this will be a breeze for you. Okay. If not, then if you're learning WordPress has different editors that you can bring in, like Site Pro or Site Origin, Elementor, and other ones that'll have elements like this. Okay, but WordPress itself doesn't use a structure like this. That is simply drag and drop. Okay, so with this, because of all these blocks are already set as modules, you can go in. Very first one you see on their Rail website is I come in with a heading. Okay, this heading you can actually type. Let's just put in there something great. Okay, now let's see if I can spell type. Sorry, you're like, oh, it's Marcel.
Why
So
don't you just
in
take
here-
type out and call it something great?
Yeah. So here, this is simply a text field, but it's a bold text field. It's a header, so that you don't have to look at, well, it comes in at 12-point text. What's a good size for a header? Well, with this, it's actually size 62. Do you understand what what pixel size is for letters? Okay. The fonts are based on points. So 72 point is 1 inch tall by a ruler. Okay. If you were to put it, you go into Microsoft Word and you see that it comes up 16, 18, 24, 72, 144. If you put that wording on that sheet and you set it at 72 point, it actually is 1 inch tall. Okay. If you put it in at 144, it's how tall? 2 inches. Okay. And then anything in between. So if you want to know what your letter sizes are going to be, always divide by 72. So 144 over 72 gives you 2. So that means your characters are 2 inches tall. If you put 10 points over 72, it's 1.5 or 0.15 inches tall, just over 1/8 of an inch tall. So that's what that means. So this right now, pardon?
I never knew that.
You have me. So at this particular time, these fonts are 62 pixels high. Okay, so it's a good size for an actual heading. Okay, so we're done with that. So now you can see this has its border. You can actually, decrease the padding and everything else that's here to make it closer to the top. Or here, you can actually move it somewhere else on the page if there's other elements on here, or delete it. Okay. You can see when you go through, you look at text images. So you have image to the right, text to the left. Oh, what's the next one? Image. The next one is image to the left, text to the right. So look how much we've already done so far. So I can take a heading and put it up top. Now you start to see this growing. Okay. The nice thing about all of this is, well, let's go down one more here. Now these columns will actually surprise you because these are the ones that actually have images across the top of them. When you save it and you open it up in another browser, you don't see them here. I'm a little disappointed with that. Okay, so this is how easy it is. It's drag and drop. So when you go back to the Rail site that I created, can you see where some of the elements have come from in here? And then I go to this one. What did I put in here? Rail Active on this side, Rail Active Pro on this side, right? Here was Lead Share, Market, and Rail
News.
News. Okay, so you can start to see the elements coming together on a web page. This is why it's quite easy, and you're really not going to make any mistakes on this. Okay.
Stephen, I can remember when we first started and we looked at this, and I said, but there's no description of these modules. Like in Elementor, you'd hover your mouse over it and it'll tell you what it is. But now I see they got descriptions on each one of them.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's you kind of can look at what you want in here. One of the things that I put in here was where is it? Block. Where'd it go? Parallax. And parallax is the image at top. So it's a nice header, but your website actually fits over the top of it. And there's a few things to a few settings to work with something like that. So I just want to give you guys an idea of some of the elements that you can put into the website. So you can have column features, you can have two big features. There's lots. I would basically ask you, just go in and put everything in and look at what it looks like and see if it's an element that you want to include in your website. Okay. Now this is just the front page. Now you go in, Caroline, do your second page. Like for example, if you want, let's save this. So let's go into About You. Well, I'm going to publish it, but I'm going to edit it first. But what I want to do here is let's do an image here. Change this to About Carolee. Put in your about text here. Some of these elements you can actually delete or have them linked to another page or somewhere else down further in the page. But this image, as it says, you'll see the pop-up on here. It's double-click to edit. So guess what? You can put in an image, you can put in a document, you can put in a pictogram or a video. So with the videos, you actually copy the URL in here, much like you're doing with the Rail Market. It's the same idea. So to do something maybe for Manny, I can copy that same video link, put it in here, and I get the same video that he has up on his Rail Market profile. Okay, so go in and explore. Put in whatever images that you want. Let's just put this one in to start with, and you can see some of these. We can actually, I'll go over a lot of this in the coming sessions, but you can actually create a link. And what's the link going to be? Oh, I want to go to apple.com. You set it, people click on that, and they'll actually go to apple.com. So it's the same as the it's setting a purchase link or something, is that you can give that image a hyperlink. Okay. So this one here is going to have a link in it as well. So its link doesn't go anywhere right now. Okay, because there's nothing to link it to. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay.
Sure.
If you put a hyperlink in your web page to purchase something, is that connected to the accounting so that will it actually generate an invoice, log it into accounting, and then if paid, you can, should all be connected together?
That is the goal, but there's a little bit more work to to get all of that connected. And I'll
Okay.
get to that part. That'll be the chapter called e-commerce.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
It'll be there, but eventually.
Yeah, it'll be
Right.
there eventually. What I want everybody to understand is that the questions that I've had is, one, Steve, where do I find my damn website? Two, how can I start the editing process? Okay, and just let you go wild. And then three is understand that you can do a lot of different things with this. Okay, and it's just a matter of trial and error by yourself. And then, come back and ask questions on Thursday. You say, you know what? I was tinkering with this. This is what I found. We'll do some screen share, and we'll go through some of the challenges that you've had. You say, oh, here, this is where you go. But realize that in all of these, you have editable areas that, first of all, hit the edit, and then you can go in and edit these as far as you get down here. You can change the color of the font. I can change the size of the font. I can actually change the justification of it as well. I'll make this a little bit bigger.
Just like Microsoft Word.
Pretty much. Okay. And in most editors, it's like that anyway. So you see everything that's down here is there's bulleted lists, there's numbered lists, there's the justification, left, right, center, or fully expanded. There's tables, there's links. And if I want to put an image in place of this, go down to where the link is and go to the next one over, which is image. So again, I can put an image in there and replace that text. So there's a lot of things that you can do on the fly. And you say, you know what, if you're going to do a header, I don't want the word in there, but I want my logo. So highlight the words, replace it with your logo, and play with it so that the logo is front and center at the very top of your webpage.
May I ask another question? I may be getting ahead of myself, so if I am, tell me to shut up. How do you get your domain name for your webpage?
That's like chapter 5.
Okay, thank you.
I know what you guys are asking, but I'm trying to make sure that I don't lose anybody. And
Fair enough.
what I want to do right now is I don't want to go outside of Rail. I will get to that. I'm working with Scott and Sean from Web Names on it. So we're trying to put a process together. But right now, for everybody who wants to learn what to do with their own, Rail Active website module, this is where I'm sticking at the moment, okay? Because this is important, because when we start looking at bringing on strategic revenue partners, they may not have part of their website that they want to separate off for us to link to do referrals and everything else. This is why I created the Be Looped one, okay? So that it stays within the Rail ecosystem. We're taking all the payment processes, or processing all the payments, I should say. So we're keeping it internal. I'm doing the same thing with Doris. We'll do the same thing with a few other strategic revenue partners as well, because we want to take the friction out of them doing business and messing around with their outside website and all that other stuff. Why not use this that is now all integrated? That exactly what you're looking for, Steve, is that, can we do e-commerce? Well, yes, we can. How do we do that? I'll show you shortly, okay? But I want to go through just the general website layout. On Thursday, we can go into a little bit more, and next Monday, and so on. This is an ongoing program till at least December. Okay, so by the time everybody's gone through this once or twice or 3 times, then I want to be able to give you guys the confidence that you can do what you want to do in this, and it's not that hard. Okay, and go from there. If you all want to do e-commerce, I'll put out another class just specifically on e-commerce. Or Thursday is e-commerce for 90 minutes. You're not going to get that anywhere else. Okay. And then I want to know
Oh,
what
I even
read.
think I think I can even go ahead and fool around with this and
Yeah, go ahead.
have fun. Yeah.
Go ahead. And the thing is that you have one thing that is in your favor. You have two buttons at the top right-hand corner. One is save, and the other is discard. If you don't like what you did, don't save it. If you like what you did, save it. If you don't like what you've done on the pages, you can always see this little trash can. Delete it. If that piece doesn't work for you, bye-bye.
So
Okay.
one of the features in WordPress, and I've used the Elementor plugin on WordPress, is that as you work on your web page, there's a button that allows you to see what it would look like to the world.
True. So here, once you save it, what you see is
What you get.
what you have. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as you save it, you're there. So it's just going in and out, in and out. Now.
Yeah, well, what I think where that comes in handy is if you've created a web page and now you're editing it, you can
just go back and forth.
You can preview it before you publish. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just not a big deal for what we're doing.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. So the other thing is, you remember I said, okay, we have edit, new, and we have an icon that looks like a smartphone. This is mobile.
adaptive.
This is mobile. So you can see I've got a very wide image, a very wide picture and logo here, a very wide. So what you're going to see here is the different way it lays it out on a mobile phone. Okay, and it might surprise you. So it miniaturizes this. It compresses the menu, but you still have a menu here which shows you everything that's here. Okay, so it still takes section 1, section 2, section 3, and puts it all together so that it's readable. So you can always go through and look at it and go, maybe I make it a little smaller. Maybe I make it a little bit. So you always have the option of looking at how it looks on your smartphone. The one thing that they're missing is actually a tablet, which is 2 times in both directions. Okay, so it's a different look. And then turn it off. Go back to what you're editing here. Okay. Pretty straightforward.
Yes, just can I ask a question?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, Vincent.
Yes, with me, I also have an account, Wendy Page One for me. So I've been trying to do it to make a website as well. Now my question is on the first page, okay, of any website. It's just a general question in relation to websites because I've been kind of struggling in relation to what can be there, okay? So what kind of information is there on the first page? For instance, if the first page, let's say, is home, what should be there? Is the information supposed to be maybe summarized, or is the information supposed to take you to the second page where you find content?
It often depends on what the purpose of the website is. If you simply want a one-page website that you can scroll down to all the different sections, then create it that way. Okay. The one thing that you can do within the one page is you can set up sections in there that, let me see here. Here, I believe you actually can go in and using the pound symbol, actually, that's not going to work here. Each of these sections, for example, whose was I at? There was one page that had a content section about us, then it had services, then it had contact us, and then join our newspaper. And the menu up top had links, internal links in that page. Okay, because it was still only one page, but it jumped down to that section, would jump down to the next section, and so on and so forth. Okay. If you want to make it a multi-page site, then on the front page, definitely have in the footer some contact information, okay? Because that footer goes all the way throughout the entire website. On the front page, you're also going to have a menu that goes across every page. But on the front page, you want to look at giving somebody a description of who you are, okay, or what a call to action. So it depends on what it is that you want to put up there, okay? But ideally, you want to have 3 steps, okay? Person comes to your website, you've got between 5 and 8 seconds for them to look, go click, and I want to go click there. That's 3 steps, and then about 5 seconds. They want to be able to find the information that you're setting up, okay? If they want to contact you, click, and then that should pop up right away, or scroll down to the part of the front page. So it just depends on what information you want to put on there. Web designing is like, I look at it as somebody asking me, well, you know, what kind of car do you have? Red, 4 tires, V6. You're describing what's inside of your website. Okay, every car is different. Every website is different. Every website's laid out differently. Okay, but I put the 4 main or 5 main pages on there is your homepage, something about us, about your company, about you. You can put contact us page as well with a map feature, your address, phone number, things like that. And if you're doing products, you're going to have a products page, maybe a services page. So you could have 5 or 6 of your first pages. And it's just depending on what it is you're doing. And
exactly that. A lot of it comes down to what are you trying to do? Are you trying to sell a product? Are you trying to sell a service? Or are you trying to supply information? And so you focus what you want to do about that. So your first page, usually you want to compress it into something fairly simple so that people don't have to scroll the page. You want to say everything above the fold as far as your value-added statement that is going to give them a reason to click. The goal is, it's your grabber piece. It's your power opening. Like you are here, and I'm going to, or you can get this here. Click here to learn more. So it's basically then you move them into the site and you take them through the flow that you want. And so it really comes down to, it could be page 10 by the time you get into it but depending on what you want to do, or you can get it all to say. I've seen many of the sites, as Stephen has described, that scroll down. They're very effective. They're really simple because, you can just click and it just drops you down the page. You don't have to go back and just, but it really comes down to what it is that you're trying to achieve with your website.
Yeah.
Stephen,
so we can talk about that. We can talk about that in future classes, or you and I can sit on a one-on-one and we can go through that. And but when you look at it, like when I talk to my clients, it's a matter of who you are, what you're trying to sell, how you want to sell it, and what's the flow, as Bob says. Like, do you want them right from the front page? Do you want to pop up? That's a hey, can I have your email address and I'll give you a free lead magnet. I've got your email now. Follow me through the rest of the website. It just depends on what it is that you want to do for a marketing, how you want to get people into your website. Like, don't fill it with hundreds of pages. Most websites are between 5 and 10 pages. That's it. Some are even less than that. Because if you want to generate a sale, you need to make sure that the customer is guided and that they are guided to click. It's call to action. If they're just in there clicking away, they're just in there. You see Google Analytics. Oh, they were on my site for 20 minutes. But did they buy anything? Did they send you an email? Did they engage in you? Well, your website was just there. Just hand them a book. Here, read it. But if you want them to actually do something,
one thing I saw on the elemental tiles was call to action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we see what that looks like?
And I'll show you where that is. Go to Be Looped. Guess what's at the bottom? Ready to get Be Looped and enjoy privacy in your network today. Purchase now. Click. Guess where it goes?
To their website to buy.
There you go. How many clicks was that? One.
Nice.
That's it. But that's what that is you can configure a lot of that. Okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the call to action itself can be something like download this or go here, but you have to guide the customer through that whole process. If you want them to buy, say buy now, don't miss out, and so these are the things when you get into web designing. Is not just designing. You need to have top of mind what you're trying to do with your customer. Okay, giving them a brochure does nothing. Giving them a brochure and handing them a POS system, what does it tell them? I want you to buy now. Okay, that's what a call to action is you buy now. Can I give you more information? Please follow this. Send us an email or subscribe to our newsletter or something.
Click here for your free ebook.
Exactly. Or the front page is make an appointment now. Here, click here to make an appointment to book my services. Not, hey, call this number for more information. I don't want more information. I want an appointment. I want you to call and talk and book your service. That's the call to action. Okay. Now, one of the things I want you guys to read is one of the guys I follow is a guy by the name of Donald Miller. Okay. He goes through a whole series of, he's got a book called Business Made Simple. And one of the Business Made Simple, Marketing Made Simple, and StoryBrand are the three books that I'm reading and following and doing. He actually brought
what's his name again?
Pardon? Which one?
What's his name again?
Donald Miller.
Okay, thanks.
Millar?
ER.
Yeah.
You said business made simple, then marketing made simple in the last one?
StoryBrand.
Okay.
With I think it's the Business Made Simple. And there's a whole host of videos around this and so on. What I'm telling you is basically the same as what he's saying, is that get to the point. Okay? Don't tell me all the fluff stuff. Tell me what you want me to do. Go in, read a little bit, click here, move on. Okay? He actually had some audience members provide their websites, and man, did he tear them apart. Nicely, but he said, well, what are you trying to sell? What's your service? And imagery is a very big part of this too, is that there's a lot that's been sold by text, but there's also a lot that's been sold by simple image. You want it? Click here, buy now. Done. But what did you do? You've made something simple. You had a call to action, and how did they buy it? 3 steps. Done. So you don't have to make things extremely complicated.
Two questions, Stephen.
Sure, Neil, go ahead.
Probably jumping way ahead, but importing, if you have a web page already that you're happy with, is there an import feature?
Chapter 5.
The other one is pictures. Can you write over the pictures, or is it just picture only and text outside?
That I have to look at. I haven't got that far down in the tools, but I will have a look and see if you can actually put a caption over the images, and either drag and drop it, or it's already included in something.
Might have to
like
use
that.
Canva for that.
Yeah,
That's
you may.
fine.
If you
could
create-
import an image there and write over.
Yeah, and I've seen it before. I've seen it being done. I just got to go in and make sure that I can explain it to you step by step by step how you can do it. Here's the other thing: is one of the nice things in here is, like, let's say this whole section I have with this icon in it, and let's just say, special. Here, I can go up, and on the top row here where it says text image for that little module, you can go across, you can create a link for all of this, or I can actually save the block the way that it's done right here. So I don't have to go back in and remember, oh, what the hell did I do? What font did I do? You can go in, and this goes into a library that you can drag this back. So if you have a repetitive type of image that you want to create, save it, create another one, save it, you can bring them back later without having to redo the work. So there's a nice little feature in here. It says, this one says, save the block to use it elsewhere. Okay, so there's some interesting features in here. And then of course there's the delete button for that particular one. There's also the delete button here, so, okay. But what I'm gonna cover on Thursday is going through and looking at some of the blocks, bringing them up, seeing what things are editable. But in the meantime, go in and play. Look at, how do I put images in? How do I put a video in? How can I change the font type or the font size? What looks good for me?
I have a question.
Sure.
In the old WordPress, you would build a library of images, and as you built your web page, you would take those images and put them in your web page. Do you do the same here? And similarly with videos?
Same here.
Same
This is your media library.
Oh, good.
So
yeah, that's what I was looking for. Where do you find that in there?
It's in this sidebar here.
Oh.
So you have to click on the element to start with.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So in this, I can change the background in here to be something that's actually, is it this one? No, it's not. But in here, you can add images. So let's see, it's within the same section. So I can add as many images as I want. I don't think I have a test video, and it's just the picture icon. So it gives you an image, document, pictogram, whatever pictogram they want you to use. But here, when you add, you can actually copy paste this, or a URL, or actually embed the URL here from, now pay attention here, accepts YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, and what's that, YouTube videos. So okay. YouTube and Vimeo. Okay, it's not going to do, what's the one that Val was doing? BombBomb. It has to be converted to a YouTube video or saved on a YouTube video with a link. And the same thing with Vimeo. Okay. Images.
So how do you? Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
How do you get to that again? Like say you're in a set or whatever it's called,
okay.
And then you go over to the sidebar.
Yeah. So here, let's say I want to.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to change this. So go over to the sidebar, and you'll see link.
Link. Yeah.
Yeah. Edit, and then it'll have a remove or whatever. So.
Okay.
Where is...
Okay, one of those will be video.
Yeah.
Or
so,
just edit.
Oh, yeah. So you'll have here. So pictogram are all these little icons, like crazy. So you can do the thumbs up. You can do, whatever in here. Here's the video. Okay. This particular
put the URL in.
This particular little shield was a pictogram. Was a little widget, okay? And that's why it came up with pictogram to start with.
Okay.
So I can change that to, you know, so they're quite helpful.
Yeah.
Put a person in there. You can do so if you're doing something like a customer service thing here, you know, pick, you know, something like that. You know, so these are okay, but I can also go in here and go image, and I can put in an image. So it just replaces what's there. Okay. So I mean, go play with it. Go figure out what you want, but make sure that you save your images as a transparent PNG 300 DPI. Okay.
And there's no copyright checks or anything built into this. You need to make sure it's all.
Yeah, you have to do your copyright search on a lot of this. If you've got the images, you know, hopefully you know where they're from. The other thing I wanted to mention too is I say the bigger the image, the better, because you see over here where it says image, it says filter and width. The original width of this image was 646 pixels. It says original. I can take that down to 128, half of it, 2/3 of it. So you can see, so this is why I'm saying, bring it up to like 300 DPI so that it's big enough that you can actually bring it down, okay? And go from there. It's just a matter of going in and playing and seeing what's gonna work for us.
Awesome.
This is so cool.
And
Thank
get
you,
back-
Steve.
Hey, no worries.
I can
Yeah.
see this soaking up many of my hours.
But it looks, when you look at it, you say, you know what, I'm using a tool. I'm using a tool now that I can build a website. I have a business. I'm functionally using all the RailAptive A module, and we're going to get into more and more and more of this. Okay. Now, before we leave, we got about 15 minutes left. So what I want to do is I want to show you something here, why this whole software package is interoperable. Okay. I said earlier, actually, I want to save this. Come back to me. So contact us. I said something earlier about being an interoperable. You put information in and it populates other parts of the software. You see this area right here where it says my company, message@rail.cloud, and it has Google Maps. Okay. You can't edit this, but you can, because we're going to go to settings, and we're going to go down to general, and here we're going to update my company. So here you recognize the term my company. So this is going to be Stephen Test Company, street 12 wherever, city, you know it, country, and this one actually comes up as Canada. It actually does come up as Canada, Alberta, Canadian currency, company registry. I've got to look into more about that. Tax ID in Canada is our business number. Phone 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Okay. Email. This is now going to be, I'll just put in one of my several emails. My website. Now, you can have people go to this website or actually go to another website that you want referenced in here. But I just wanted to show you something here. So all of this is save it. So now you see it's in there. So this is part of the setup that Jose will go through with you when you initially start using your Aptive software. Okay, he'll go in, first thing is the setup. What's your company name, what's your address, what's your phone number? Because guess what? That's going to start flowing through the rest of the software. When you set up accounting, when you set up invoices, when you set up users and all that other stuff, same thing applies with the website. So now let's go back to website, analytics, go to website, and what do you think is going to show up? My address. That's the simple part of this being so interoperable. Okay. Put it in somewhere and it shows up somewhere else. Okay. Now, Google Maps right now, you need to have your own Google API for mapping. Okay. It's not very expensive, but it requires an API code. All right. There is another way to do this, is that it might not find, I hope we don't have a town in Alberta called You Know It.
So what's the importance of having Google Maps if you're like a home business
It's
and you're global?
It's just like the rail market. It just gives somebody a location of where you are. So, where's the map?
But they already know that you're from Canada and the city you're from, right?
Well, I guess it's based on if you have, if for somebody that maybe is opening or has a store.
Yeah, I was going to say if
yeah.
you have a storefront
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Like
you
for
can
me, it's
use
not
it. You
important.
don't necessarily have to, but the Google
Mhm.
Maps feature on this, corporately, it's not turned on because it would be their API. You would have to go into look at the Google Map API development and actually have it created. Okay.
Mhm.
And it's about 25 characters long, but it's unique to you. And there's actually a charge for every thousand views of this page, not necessarily all your pages, but this page. Okay. And
That's something I would use.
no. So the thing here is with, let's save this. And I thought I did with this, I actually went back up to features. Guess what? Turn it off. Okay. Gone.
Here you go.
This will associate with this address if it was ever correct. Okay.
Mhm.
But this, again, just like another element, we
How
can
did
go
you do
in,
that?
we can go in and delete it. So you don't have the Google Map feature in here. So that is something that you can certainly turn on or off.
So let me ask you this, Stephen. I can see it coming too, probably in lesson number 6. Is if we wanted to collect somebody else's information and go back in the CRM, if we had an action item saying fill in this information, get your free ebook, or to register for this webinar, and they put their name, phone number, email address in, I'm assuming it's going to go CRM. Right?
It'll come back in here with, we'll get into like website. The other thing is you go in and look at the sidebar stuff here. So you've got your orders, you've got customers. We have to look at, online sales. So eventually we'll tackle this as we'll go full circle, because this is what we're going to do is that we're going to have some product. We're going to put it up there. I've got a Stripe account that we can use as a test. Okay. And not the rail one, but use it as a test because I don't want to put that up. So we can actually go through and see the whole purchase process, how names get captured, how we can see the sale being tracked here on the analytics. Okay, you can see paid and unpaid invoices, how it attaches to the payment processing platform. Okay, and with this, like the e-commerce, there's something here called a payment acquirer. Presently, there's only wire transfer set up. I have to get this one turned on for Stripe. And I imagine I can put links into here that you can be with Square, you can be with, others, that what you do is you create a button with a purchase link and it actually takes you to that shopping cart and you go through that process. Okay. These are just a number of other ones that are available worldwide. Okay, so these may not suit what you're looking for. Okay, like SEPA is for Europe. Okay, that's one that they use. Wire transfers and PayPal we're very, very familiar with, and of course Stripe. Okay, Stripe, Square is often in Canada and United States. It's not cross-border. I can't take U.S. payments on a Canadian Square, and they can't take
Really?
Canadian on a U.S. Square. It's not cross-border. Okay, so these are a few things. So we'll go through all of this, and what we'll do is what I want to be able to do with each of you or all of you together is to come up with a site that we can actually build on. Okay, now in the coming probably 2 weeks, I'm going to stand up Rail.shop, which is our Rail corporate shop that will have swag. So you can buy mugs, you can buy T-shirts, and a selected amount of hats and things like that, because I want to be able to prove out the entire e-commerce model for everybody, and then be able to attach that to Amazon. So stay tuned. Wait, there's more. Okay, and this is this whole training that I want to go through and show you that this is not just a simple set of tools. This is a powerful group of tools that will run your business, help you generate sales, allow you to do e-commerce, and connect with several other platforms out there as we grow this business. So we're not done yet. Okay, and that's what I'm taking on, both my responsibility with Rail, but also personally to show you how this is done. Okay, so hold on tight.
Nope.
All right, cool.
Stephen, are you still looking for somebody to do merchandise for you? Because I know a really amazing fellow at the Alwick University. He did clothing with anything you want on it, and he's gone into a big business.
I'm looking for several because the first order is when I get my budget, and I'm looking to stock some of that, or actually have them stock it and drop ship it.
That's
I have
the key
two right now.
Yeah.
I have
Okay,
two
I
right
can
now.
ask.
One here, one in Toronto, and if we have one in Vancouver, then that would be great.
He supplies whole teams and that sort of thing, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So so these are the things. So look for, a strategic partner, introduce me, and we'll go through that process, and I'll talk to our A suite about what it is that we want to do for our first products, get those quotations in, get the pricing sorted out, and then we'll move forward. But I don't think we're going to do anything until after the IPO. Just to I'm certainly going to keep busy building this out, and I hope this class gets bigger and bigger, and because then you guys start to become very productive with the website, setting up your business, starting to look at your contacts and CRM, and hopefully I can tie a lot of that together. And then eventually when I get more in depth in the accounting side, then I'll have a couple people work with me to help guide you through all of that, and we'll do the same thing, the same video series, and go from there. So
thanks very much. I've got to go pick up kids from school. So
cool. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks. That was great. I'm going to have fun, actually. Surprise.
It is fun, Curly.
Well,
once you get going at this, it is fun.
That's